All right, there's been quite a buzz around the launch of China's latest and most advanced aircraft carrier, the Fujian. It's named after the Chinese province closest to Taiwan. And when you compare that to the buzz that the U.S. Navy is getting for what it's doing to prepare its sailors, well, there's a stark contrast.
China launched its third and most advanced aircraft carrier on Friday, with improved capabilities and rivaling the U.S. Navy's carriers for size. The Fujian represents a big step forward in technology and capabilities.
Meanwhile, in the U.S. Navy...
My name is Johnny, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Kanchi, and I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns. But what would I do if I misgender someone?
I think the first thing to recognize is that it's not the end of the world.
No, misgendering someone may not be the end of the world, but if we continue this foolishness, it could be the end of the United States as we know it. Joining me now to share his thoughts on this is Congressman Pat Fallon. He serves on the House Armed Services Committee and the Oversight Committee. He represents the 4th Congressional District of Texas. Congressman, welcome back to the program.
Tony, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, let's start, Congressman, right here. I mean, when you contrast what China is doing and what our Navy is doing, I mean, we're out to lunch or worse.
I mean, this is like a bad satire, you know, like some B movie from the 70s or something, Tony. I mean, I can't believe this is reality. I would agree with one of the video. The video was 3.5 minutes, and it seemed like it took 4 hours to watch. It was such a painful waste of time. But the fact that, yes, misgendering somebody is not the end of the world. That's about the only thing I agree with. The fact that, we were looking at Russia training their troops in Nicaragua. The Russia's deputy chairman of the Security Council suggested the United States should be negotiating an arms treaty by implying that they don't fear the United States. The fact that China, as you mentioned, just launched their latest aircraft carrier, and Iran's on the precipice of getting a nuclear weapon, and we're worried about pronouns. It's just farcical. It's beyond words. Unbelievable.
I mean, and this is not just like one ship they're launching. I mean, they're regularly, I think once a week, they are launching a new ship. The next aircraft carrier China plans to build is expected to be nuclear powered. In the meantime, what is our Department of Defense doing to strengthen our readiness and our capabilities?
Right. Well, that's the thing. When you see things like this and silly things like this, our office is writing a letter immediately. Just saw this yesterday to the Navy, asking them how much money was spent, what kind of taxpayer money was wasted on this. This is political. And then with the inference of talking about allies, like as if they were allies to the LGBT community and things of that nature. This is political. It's not military. It doesn't do anything for military readiness whatsoever. And by the way, in the 54 years I've been on this planet, Tony, I have never had an encounter where somebody was remotely upset that I used he or she, ever. This is a non-issue, and it's just catering to the far left.
Folks, if you're listening on radio, you didn't see the clip, but I mean, it's essentially the Navy has put together what appears to be a bad knockoff of Sesame Street talking about pronouns. And that's what the Navy is doing. I mean, this is, it's almost beyond words, but it is so dangerous. Now, Congressman Fallon, you're from Texas. This past weekend, the Texas Republican Party adopted a platform. And you know what they did? They took a consistent stand on the same issues they've been standing on for years, and they've pushed back to this left's nonsense that is putting our nation, not to mention our children, in danger. And, of course, the media has just piled on, calling them regressive and everything else.
Well, you know what? In Texas, we won't let them silence our patriotism and our common sense. What that platform did was affirmed natural marriage, the right to life, America's status as one nation under God, the fact that we're not going to spend taxpayer dollars on drag queen story hour or punishing people if they, quote unquote, misuse someone's pronouns, protecting and the sanctity and recognizing the sanctity of innocent human life that were created in God's image. and that we should be treated and protected equally. No, these are commonsensical things, Tony, that we're going to stand by. And also, church services will never be shut down again because we have a First Amendment right to worship as we see fit, to the dictates of our own conscience. These are common sense things that our nation's based on.
Well, and I'm grateful for Texas taking that stand and not backing up 1 inch in the face of this leftist push. I know, Congressman, you're heading into a markup in the Armed Services Committee on the NDAA. Are we going to be seeing this push again to force women to register for the draft?
I don't think that's going to be on the top of our list, Tony, and we're not going to. We're going to do our very best to talk about the real issues that we should be talking about. In this markup, there's going to be probably 700-800 amendments. We're going to be going for about 18 to 20 hours, and we need to protect this nation, and we need to counter China's growth in their increasing aggressiveness. This is a dangerous world. You know that. This world has walls.
Yeah.
And we need to do everything we can to move the ball forward.
Well, maybe you should authorize them using the right pronouns, as they've always been used in this country. Congressman, always great to talk with you.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing, you know what? The world needs a strong United States, and in order for the United States to be strong, we need a strong Texas. And Texas is going to be, we're going to stand strong. We're going to stand firm because we know what's at stake. So I want to thank you very much for having me on, and God bless you.
All right. Congressman Pat Fallon of